Welcome to Waking the Kraken. I'm Wes Potts.
And I'm Alex Keeneman.
And today we got a special guest with us today. We've got Ben Frisch back.
I'm back.
And he's not a co-host this time.
Yeah, I'm not in Colorado this time either.
Just a regular Joe.
Just a regular boner.
Yeah, man. So how does it feel to be on again?
Oh, great. I really didn't think you guys would ever ask me back.
Oh, yeah?
Neither did I.
Yeah, neither.
I get today we're going to do Kraken World News, but we're going to do it a little bit differently because obviously this week was filled with a bunch of big news.
Yeah, it really was.
And we're going to have Ben join us in on this one just to get his opinions, really.
Yeah. No.
So obviously the biggest news of the week is the end of the the end of the Korean War.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's kind of weird that, like, months of, like, crazy warlike rhetoric have been, like, gushing out of North Korea. And then, like, over the course of a weekend, now they're not even considering it.
Right, yeah. No one expected either of the people that lead these countries to cross the DMZ line. Doing that even was just a big deal on every site. And then, like, you see all these other, like, it's almost odd. It's weird that it's something you'd never guess. I think it's got to be similar to the idea of like the Berlin Wall just randomly falling back in the 80s.
Yeah, well, I mean, like they're making the closing of the nuclear test site in North Korea a public event for all North Koreans, and they're inviting like scientific experts from all of the different nations to come and watch so they can certify that this was a nuclear test site and the nuclear technology has now been destroyed. And, like, so they're being very open about it. And so that'll be, this next month, in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Are they going to open up the country itself to people to come in, or is it still going to be pretty closed off?
They talked about, at the DMZ, they talked about, like, a railway and stuff that would go through and having a little bit looser. But I'm not necessarily sure if it's going to be... Because obviously we've seen what happened with the Berlin Wall, where they're like, you can go over, and then everyone's like, fucking tear it down.
Yeah, right?
So...
Pretty much.
And then reunification happened really quick. So I'm not necessarily sure on whether or not it's going to be accessible. They did talk about in one of the news reports that I was watching, families that had been torn apart for 65 years will have the ability to like see each other easier and stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, like, I assume he wouldn't make it accessible because if people come over and see, like, just atrocities and labor camps and whatnot, that he wouldn't be in a very good position.
I mean, yes, and that's the thing. I guess it's something we'll see.
Yeah, I mean...
You never know, though.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they were all just like...
They've done it for this long.
Maybe they were all just amusement parks that were, like, themed... like concentration camp,
right,
which is very crude, but maybe that's like a North Korean good time.
No, I want to know. I just want to know what's going on the other side.
You won't figure it out for what is it? I think it was just like China. Once like they opened up and stuff, we still don't know some things that happened during the Great Famine and stuff.
Yeah,
because you'll just burn papers. It's great.
You got to be burned. You have to be born on the inside.
Damn.
Maybe someday, Ben.
Ultimate.
Maybe someday you'll be born in North Korea.
We can take it. No reincarnation stuff. That's...
The second biggest article of the week is the Gold State Killer.
Yeah, he was caught. Old man. Did a lot of terrible shit to people.
Yeah,
You heard about him?
72.
I don't even know what this is.
Oh, I'm impressed. Okay, so basically, I think he's like 77 now.
I was like 72, 77,
Yeah, he's
something
in
like
his
that.
70s. This guy was arrested for like a series of murders and like a bunch of rapes that were proved through like DNA trees.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he was like a retired police officer too, and so it's been all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I think what was it, like Patton Oswalt's wife was like, she was like a blogger or like an author or something like that too, that was like a true crimes author, and they say that she's one of the more pivotal people in actually pinning a suspect on, like.
Wow.
So.
That's crazy.
How haven't I heard about this? What?
Well, like I said, it's been a big week in news.
Yeah,
because
that's
the
true.
third one that we're going to go to is Bill Cosby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently he wasn't too happy about it.
No, I can only imagine. Like,
apparently as they read the verdict, he like screamed. He was like, "Son of a bitch!" I was like very upset. Like as soon as he heard it,
He's feeling a little woozy after they slipped a conviction in his verdict.
just think.
yeah,
I just think
exactly.
I have to imagine that you have to be guilty if that's what you say when they read the conviction. You're just not like, oh no, like I didn't do it. You're like, well, shit. Like,
Son of a bitch.
It's like you get caught as a kid and stuff like that. Like,
Exactly, right? That's how I feel
It's
about
like
it.
innocent till proven guilty, and then you fess up to your guilt real quick. You're just like, yeah, I'm super guilty.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, did you see that? That guy was good. He proved it.
yeah. But yeah, that's been the weekend news really and stuff.
I did have one interesting
yeah.
other point. Larry Harvey, who is a co-founder of Burning Man, had a massive stroke on April 4th.
I saw that today.
And he passed away. This is kind of crazy to me because Burning Man was first established in 1986. So that's 31 years this dude has been putting on the Burning Man festival. And like the only reason it started was because he and his friend decided to celebrate the summer solstice by burning a wooden man on the beach. And then the next year they just said, let's make a thing out of it and invite music, but do it in the desert. And then it's been there ever since.
I was gonna say, Ben, you've got jury duty coming up soon. Tell us about that.
Dude.
yeah.
I'm so excited. I've always kind of wanted to be on a jury for something like really important. So that way in like 10, 15 years, Netflix will have me on and be like, why did you let this person go free? Or why did you convict this innocent person?
Right.
I figure it'll be one of those things.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope it's the latter, where it's just you being asked really serious questions of why you convicted an innocent person.
just objection.
Ben, why did you sentence this 14-year-old child to the murders of 17 94-year-olds when there's clearly proof that he was living in another country at this time? Your Honor, just look at him. He's got a wily look in his eyes, and he keyed my car last night, so...
I mean, there's rough stuff going on in Pickwick, too. Some kid's been killing cats.
Oh, this again? Yeah.
A rich person street, some child is murdering cats and throwing it over into people's yards.
Didn't that happen, like, what was it, like in the Phelps Grove region, too? Like, where someone was murdering a cat for a while, like, a bunch of cats for a while? People just fucking hate cats for some reason.
Well, I mean, like, if you consider, like, hundreds of cats pretty much running all over Springfield, stray cats, you know? Like, there's a chance that there's going to be a couple really pissed people about it.
Yeah.
And they're just going to be like, nope, I see this thing running around every day, and they just fucking, and they kick it. And or then they do whatever.
Yeah, I just don't understand, like, what are these cats? It's like, they kill rats and stuff, unless, like, someone's, like, fucking Willard, and he's just like, you're killing all of my friends. Like, I don't fucking get it. Like,
that's true.
No, it's just, I feel like I've been learning a lot more about my neighborhood this week. We went to, like, the bar at the corner of my street, and all the people that were there know exactly which houses are rentals.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, you guys definitely look like you rent here. You don't belong.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a really bougie bar in your neighborhood.
Yeah. It seats about 10 people, so it's very exclusive.
We should really try to get it to be more dirty. Like, just invite some of the weirdest people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just take it over one night.
Overwhelming.
They kick us out for smoking, so outside.
Oh, is it owned by the same people that own the other place? Like,
Tie and Timber?
well, I was talking about the Cherry Picker.
Yeah.
It's owned by the same... Yeah, because they did that to someone one time. They're like, hey, you can't actually... I was like, it's outside. That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, like, they have a right. It's their property, so...
Yeah.
It's just strange.
Yeah.
People like to smoke and drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in this area. Anyway... No, I want to talk about all the things that, like, we talked about to try to get you out of jury duty is really what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Getting Ben out of
why would I
jury
want
duty.
to, though?
Well, I mean, like, what if it's a really boring case? Like,
Oh, yeah, if it's... I'm trying to think of what I wouldn't sit through.
would you sit through, like, money laundering case?
Yes.
Would you sit through, I don't know, what's a boring crime?
Tax fraud.
No.
What about traffic violations? Like, just
Maybe.
parking your car in random places and just accruing.
If I can
all
really
these-
nail this guy?
I don't. it's parking violations. Can you really nail? Like you're like, man, I brought the hammer down on that motherfucker. Who keeps parking in those no parking zones
Well, at least
or those
that one-
fire lanes. Like,
What if it was the world's most nefarious convenience store robber, and like he's known for like stealing Twinkies and shit like that, but he's done it so much that they're like, all right, maybe we should finally get this guy.
I would be on that case.
That
Like,
is a Netflix series for sure.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to be on it.
yeah, that one sounds
Yeah, right.
awesome.
The man who stole 1 million Twinkies. Yeah.
I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that we came up with is if you don't want to be on it, or they still force you to be on it, and you don't want to be on it, you just keep going. Like every time someone says something or like presents evidence in the case, just be like bum 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 bum.
That would get me thrown out so fast.
I know, that's why it's hilarious.
Actually, I think that can get me like a couple days jail time.
I was gonna say, can it get you contempt of court?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And then
Even better.
you get jury duty from me.
Oh,
I think I would be excluded because they'd be like, "Do you know this guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's been on my podcast twice." They're like, "We can't have him."
Lie.
because you're not. the
He's
jury's not
never
supposed
been
to
on a
know.
podcast that I've ever been on, Your Honor. And then I get jail time because they find out
And then Alex
eventually.
will be the jury at your court.
Just pass the buck along.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
At least if Alex
Continuously.
was going to be on the jury on my court, I feel like I would stand a chance. There's other people that I know that will probably be like, "No, throw him away."
It's just a jury of your friends.
Yeah. A
Ex-
jury of your
Oh.
friends.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
The new law.
A jury of your friends. Let it out, dude.
Think about how like many times mobsters could get away with things if it was a jury of your friends. Like, I got lots of friends.
Yeah.
And it's like they're just paying their friends.
No, that would be where you find out who your friends are, man. This is a jury of your alleged friends.
Of your alleged friends.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be terrifying?
That would be. It's like somebody on the jury voted to put you away forever.
And they were all allegedly your friends.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like think about how nerve wracking that would be if like you had just said something awful to like someone, because every once in a while with friends you piss someone off and stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just like they're on your panel and they're like, you know what? He told me to go fuck myself the other night when he was drunk. Fuck that guy. He's going
Yeah,
away
right.
forever.
I would be.
If I never see him again, that's awesome.
Of course he did it. He said I would kill for a soda one time. That guy would kill for a soda. He's ruthless.
I asked him one time what he'd do for a Klondike bar.
God, I'd get the death penalty if my friends were allowed to.
All right, so we have an opportunity for a very interesting topic
Right.
Okay.
because all three of us can talk about this. I'm going to call it getting hit in the pods. Tell me about one of the most frustrating and or ridiculous times of you trying to put together a podcast of some sort
Oh my god.
and how wrong that can go.
Okay. Yeah, I think the hardest thing is when, because we're still trying to put together the D&D style podcast that I talked about on the episode I was on last time.
Yeah.
It is hard to get 2 people together. It is harder to get 5 people together.
Oh, yeah.
And just because you think you know somebody doesn't mean you know them in front of a microphone. So we had a
That's
guy.
true.
We had a guy. It was just racial slurs. He was really bad at cussing. Like it was kind of like a little kid. Like, you fuck.
Yeah.
Like he felt cool for
You
for
piece of shit.
yeah, you shit.
Yeah.
And we had to end a podcast after about 6 episodes because we couldn't cut around him at
That's
some
frustrating.
point.
That's frustrating.
He was just too annoying. And whenever we did kick him out, I was like, hey, I think we're going to stop using you. And he's like, yeah, I know, Colin can't. He doesn't even stay in character half the time. I don't want to do it anymore. He like immediately deflected.
Oh, yeah.
Was like, it's Colin's fault. Yeah, okay. It's
Yeah.
not my fault. I can't do anything wrong. We
Yeah.
don't talk to him anymore.
Of course. Isn't that how it goes?
It's just how it is.
And that's just what. And he was probably a nice guy. You probably liked him.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Not anymore. No. That's how it goes, man.
A lot of N-words with this guy.
Isn't that uncomfortable?
I think going off of that, I think that's probably going to be my answer. Is it's going to be like, obviously with a lot of podcasts, you have a lot of times where I don't do RPG ones, but I do a lot of ones where like I interview people or we talk about things, and there's a fine line between like having a difference of opinion and having it represented on a show, and then having things that are blatantly against your own morals on a show, like childhood abandonment and stuff. And like I had to cancel a show one time just because there were so many things that just kept popping up that I'm like, I don't want me or anything that I do after this affiliated with that particular kind of like brand of because I'm like I don't want to be someone that's like about like, well, you interviewed someone and you didn't really say anything because it was a group of like 5 people and like it just kind of got out of control, and it was a group of 5 people and then there was just some things that were said that were on there that I didn't have time to interject. I didn't want to get on a fight on this because I think in the minority on this, but I'm the one that was producing the show. Yeah. And at that point I was just like, I don't think I'm ever going to release this. I can't. It goes against all of my moral standings, and I don't want What's Haunting Wes and Nate or Waking the Kraken affiliated with these kind of ideas. They sound dangerous.
And it's real easy for someone to just start spewing things into a microphone that you would never
Especially
imagine.
If they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, right? Like, they just feel like they're saying something important, and they realize, you're just sitting there going, this person is an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, why? Oh, man. I don't even want to make them mad to stop now that I know how stupid they are.
Well, and I think the other thing was, like, you don't want to cause a fight because that's a lot of wasted time that's just being recorded that you're like... So
and now I gotta
either you edit it out or you leave it in, and somebody's going to be an asshole.
Yeah, someone's going to be upset either way. Like,
yeah. Well, I kind of like, I've had a lot of experience with like trying to collaborate with people. Like when I was in composition school, I had to do like recitals and give performances and like find performers to actually play the music I have written, and then get them together and teach them the song, and so on and so forth. And that's hard. Especially for like my senior recital, I had to do an hour's worth of music. I had 13 performers, and that's 5 different pieces of music that are played by I have no hand in the performance of, other than I just have to make sure they play it right. And getting 13 people together is a nightmare. Getting 3 of those 13 people together to do one piece of music is a nightmare. Trying to balance schedules, I think, is the thing that I get hit in the nuts with the most. Trying to do all this, like. This week, like within the last 2 weeks, I have had 4 different like creative collaborative events that have had to have been rescheduled or moved because of unexpected circumstances, and it's just like I get so sick and tired of it.
Right.
Yeah. But I also think that like the most like difficult thing with like podcasting is like coming up with fresh topics all the time and trying to be able to keep the podcast interesting.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So we should go to Super Fight.
Super Fight. So what's our Super Fight this week again? What were the dudes? The doodads is Jack Bauer.
Yeah, Jack Bauer can steal opponent's ability with a touch.
Right.
And a whale that has tiny bird legs.
I actually didn't go to either of ours, but I did go to Reddit, and I asked Reddit, and I got about 5 responses on it.
5 responses.
And they were the consensus is Jack Bauer. Because a whale with tiny bird legs would not be able to do anything.
I mean,
that
one was kind of obvious.
That one, yeah, I feel like that was like a throwaway given one, but it is part of the random selection on this.
Right. Jack Bauer could steal my heart, though. That's what I'm saying.
Do you know that, like, I didn't realize this until I watched, what was it, Kingsman? That so many super spies have JB as their name. Yeah. It's like Jack Bauer, James Bond, what's the other, Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I have the wrong initials.
I know, me too. Nothing works well with W and P. Like, all right, so whale with tiny legs
is
you're
dead.
Out.
It's dead.
Jack Bauer once again reigns supreme.
All
right, Ben, do you want to do us the honors?
Oh, yeah. All right, we got Smoke Monster.
No, that one's been pulled. No,
from
the middle.
From the middle. The end has been like nullified.
Sorry, guys. Stupid. I'll just have that one.
Yeah,
Conjoined twins.
Ooh. This could be good.
Armed with a poison-tipped lance.
Oh, this has some like Shaolin quality to it. I feel like you would see this on like some Hong Kong like kung fu movie.
There's got to be a kung fu movie about this.
It's like
already.
two twins that are connected at the back, and they've got one poison-tipped lance, and they're like spinning it, and the other one like grabs it and like slings it around, so they're always facing the right way. And one guy's got like one of like the Chinese short swords, and he's trying to like go in and stuff, and it'd be awesome.
Dude, what was it? Is it the movie? Is it Stuck on You? The movie about the two guys who like grew up conjoined twins with like Matt Damon and
I haven't seen that one.
Matt Damon and some other guy.
Who was the other guy?
I don't remember. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, okay, I gotta know.
Discuss.
Because that movie was interesting to me. I mean, they've already made the movie and they've had fight scenes, so like we know the comedy's possible in there.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
Now, is being a conjoined twin a power?
No, that's the person.
Oh, okay.
The power is armed with a poison.
I know, but I mean, like, can you use that as a power? Like,
I mean, you got two heads.
yeah.
It's better than one. That's according to.
I just want to know if Jack Bauer can touch them and become two Jack Bauers, really.
No, I think his is stealing the poison or the. That is a good point.
I don't think you can call a birth defect a superpower because we already call it a defect.
Damn it,
Greg
I'm sorry.
Kinnear. Greg Kinnear is the other person in Stuck on You.
Oh, who?
Greg Kinnear.
Oh, okay. I don't even know who that is.
Me
I don't
neither.
know that name. I'm glad we looked it up.
I know the name. I just don't know anything else that he's ever been in.
Yep. That movie was funny though.
I know this is an older movie. Well, I mean, it's older in the fact that it was made last year and came out. But I just watched Atomic Blonde.
Oh yeah.
And it's done by one of the same directors from John Wick. And so all the fight scenes are just brutal as hell, and it's awesome. Like, it's just as good as John Wick.
Okay.
It takes place in like 1989, East and West Berlin, during this Cold War. It's a giant spy drama with a bunch of different like factions that you never like. There's like a British faction, there's a Russian faction, a French faction, there's even like an American guy that's there, and you're just like, what is going on? You never know who the good guy is, and they're trying to find this one double agent.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
It's just like Tinker Tailor Shoulders Thighs.
yeah, I think I was watching someone. You mean Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy? You
Shoulders
little perv.
thighs.
I think someone actually did mention that. They were like one of the critics is like it's like John Wick meets Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
That's very
But
fair.
all the music is awesome, and I think that James McAvoy is terrifying in it. And like there's like one scene that's just really beautiful for me, and I'm not gonna ruin it because it's the very end.
I haven't seen it yet.
Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde on HBO.
Oh, is it on HBO?
Yeah, it's on HBO
okay,
now,
cool.
right
I
now.
could watch it
So-
whenever I want it.
Although I think it goes off in like the first.
Oh, well, never mind.
So you might want to get on that quick.
I lost HBO in the
In the
divorce
war?
with a roommate.
No.
Oh, right. A trade dispute.
Yeah. There's two things I won't pay for. It's HBO and Sriracha. I've never paid for either.
You've never paid for Sriracha. How do you get Sriracha?
Tim, you always used to buy it.
Yeah, but now that he's gone,
I just don't.
do you just make Colin buy it now?
No, I just
Do you
don't
like
do it at
hold
all.
him down and like drool on him like an older brother? It's like, you're gonna go get Sriracha,
That's how
or
she-
else I'm gonna drool in your mouth. He's like, no, and he's just like,
No.
that's what you do. I know this is what you do.
Yeah, no, I mean,
We're gonna have
we tough
Colin
a
on
little bit.
next week, and we're gonna find the real story out.
Yeah, Colin and I have gone through some weird stuff. Pushed me into a picture frame and cut my face up a couple months ago.
That's true.
Damn.
I hit him in the head with a machete on accident.
Yeah.
When we were 18 and put him in the hospital. Just always been kind of rough like that.
Okay, you have to give the
Wow.
story of how you hit him in the
How
head
do
with
you
the machete.
accidentally hit someone in the
Because
head
yeah,
with a
that's
machete?
one of those things. Like listeners out there are gonna be like, you don't. That's like, oh, I accidentally pointed a pistol at him and then shot him.
Yeah, there's a movie
On
about that kind of
accident,
story,
like-
and it's called
It-
Walk Hard.
Yeah, this is a very strange situation. Colin just turned 18, and he didn't want to smoke. He didn't want to buy a lottery ticket. He bought a machete because that's what he wanted to do with his 18th birthday. We were out camping at Busick,
Yeah.
and everybody's just shit-faced.
Yeah.
And Colin shows up late, and he brings this machete, and we have a fire going, and you can see on the trees like our giant shadows.
Yeah.
So we start like fighting. So in the shadows, it looks like a really kind of like a cinematic
Yeah.
Right.
fight scene. And I get the machete out, and like I swing it, and his arm falls off. He puts it behind his back. It gets really cool. But we keep moving closer and closer to each other until eventually, like, I swing the machete, and I feel it connect, and he turns around and he goes, "Oh, fuck." And I see blood run down his neck into his shirt.
Oh, fuck, dude.
And luckily, we had a nurse with us, and she's like, "You gotta go to the hospital."
Yeah.
Did not want to go. She's like, "My parents are gonna be mad."
Yeah.
He lays down and he gets back up and he's like, it just feels weird. And he takes the shirt off of his head and it just goes, pfft, just squirts all over the nurse who was with us. And I was like, no, it's time to go.
Yeah.
So we loaded our car up with trash bags. Apparently it bounced a couple times, so I made like 4 cuts.
Oh, fuck, dude.
4 cuts, and they had to staple it together, and he was in the hospital with a concussion.
Dang.
That's the first time we really hurt each other.
Oh, hey, tell us the Switchblade story that you said that you were going to tell us that we never did on the last episode. Yeah.
Well,
because I had mentioned in one of the earlier episodes, I'm like, about stilettos. You remember?
Yeah.
Where it's like, do you just like push them to someone and then it like pushes itself out, or is it like spring loaded, or like if you were just to hold it up to someone, could you press it? It would go into them, or would it just stop?
Yeah.
It definitely won't go into you.
Okay.
I'll say that. It'll just kind of bounce off. You might have a little nick. But it was at the Outland, and you know those booths that they have on the... It's not front of house, is it?
Yes.
Is that at front of house? We were sitting there, and one of those switchblades, we actually found one in there.
Oh, really?
And it kind of poked me a little bit, and we pulled it out, and there's this guy who covered like head to toe, just his face was covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
He called himself Lurch. I don't know if you've ever seen this man downtown.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, his name is Lurch, and me finding this switchblade was kind of like...
In Zelda, when you open it and like, you're like...
Yeah, he was like, holy shit. I can't believe what you just found. And he just kind of started going on and on about being a pagan. And
Interesting.
He invited me over to a pagan party. I did it. I don't know why. The first thing that happens is I walk in the door. There's a woman with a boa constrictor around her neck, and she's like, "This is Diamonds." And I was like, "Hi, I don't know what to do." And she's like, "You pet him, silly." I was like, "Okay." So I'm petting the snake, and Lurch comes out of the other room. You know, he's going off about me finding this like switchblade, like it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
And he just pops open a box just filled with drugs, coke and heroin. And I was like, "Oh fuck, I need to get out of here." And it was like, my girlfriend just got pulled over by the cops. They're like, "Fuck the cops, man. Go sort that shit out."
Yeah, right.
So I managed to escape before I was sacrificed to some sort of...
Yeah, right.
Deity.
You know, some...
Deity.
I like this story because it is the exact opposite of what I generally do. Is I don't ever go to anyone's house when I meet them at a bar at one point in the night.
Yeah, no, it's... always say yes.
No, never.
No,
That's how you get fucking murdered. Like...
I think I was close.
There was one time I went to the bar and I met this white Rastafarian guy, and like for some reason I impressed him with how much I knew about Rastafarianism, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to come over to my house and like smoke some?" And I was like, "No, not even the fact that we have the same name do I want to do that. Like, I don't trust you, and we have the same name." Like,
hey, Wes. Yeah, what's up, Wes?
what's up, Wes?
Now you know what it's like to be an Alex.
Yeah, yeah. That's gotta be confusing. I have no idea what it's like.
I've been in situations where I am one of 12 Alexes.
Then again, I do. My name doesn't not come with a curse. Obviously, it is very similar sounding to one of the two things you answer in a question. And so, anytime you're at work and someone goes, like they're talking to someone like, "Oh yes," and like say it loud enough, I'm like, "Fuck!" Someone said my name, and I'm like spinning around like an idiot. And I'm like, "Oh, they were just answering a question."
Mm-hmm.
Mine is always like someone's like, "Hey, where you been, Ben?" They go, Ben. I've dealt with
That's
that.
your new nickname is Ben.
Ben.
Hey,
I
Ben.
That little Ben Youngface.
Little Ben Youngface was it? Now it's Ben.
Bin.
Gotta lock something down.
I don't know. It feels like you're a character in like Dragon Ball Z.
Ben?
Ben.
Bin.
Oh,
Yeah,
I bet he's real strong, isn't he?
But he's really strong. He's a big old hunk.
Yeah.
And I bet he's depicted in a very offensive way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Dude, yeah, we won't talk about offensive characters in Dragon Ball Z because there's a couple.
How many Dragon Ball Z characters does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know.
10.
1, but it takes like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Hudok 10.
It's not
It
a...
was just a guess. I just wanted to make something.
You ever seen a Dragon Ball before?
No.
Trick or treat.
There are
fighter.
like 7 of them scattered throughout the world. I haven't collected any of them. Why would I have found one?
I meant an episode.
I'm not
of
the
show.
strongest man ever. I'm not Goku
Ben is.
or Master Roshi
Ben's the strongest.
or a Namek.
See, you clearly know plenty about this.
Yeah, I just don't pay attention to things sometimes. Don't give me that side eye. For all of you people at home, Ben is giving me some like really squinty side eyes, like an idiot.
Well, I love Dragon Ball Z. You're ruining it for me.
No, I'm not.
He loves Dragon Ball Z too.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah. You know the one with Ben.
Have you ever seen
I like
Dragon
the
Ball
one with-
Evolution?
I like the one
No.
with Ben in it.
I have it. It is a great movie.
Really? All right. Well,
No, I'm not. It's
Is
one
it
of the
great?
worst.
Like in your idea of a Neil Breen movie is great.
Yeah, Neil Breen is probably-
Okay, that explains a lot. Like,
No.
you don't want to watch Dragon Ball Evolution.
Have you ever wanted to see Goku as like an angsty high schooler who gets bullied, but he can't do anything about it because he knows he'd kill them if he
It sounds like every nerdy anime kid's in high school's dream.
Yeah, there's this.
Like,
There's this.
Man, I wish I could beat up those bullies, but I know I'd kill them with my katana skills.
Exactly.
Like, it's like the neckbeard
Goku
fantasy.
goes to this house party in this
Oh,
thing.
of course.
And like the rich guy who
Oh,
wants,
is this the live action
Yeah.
one? Oh, I have seen this one.
yeah, and the rich.
Oh no! Okay, the movie. Oh my gosh.
When you said
Yes, I've
movie, I
seen
thought you were
this
talking about it was
movie.
animated.
Okay, yeah, you guys know what I'm
Okay,
talking
yeah,
about then, so
man.
you know what's
Yeah,
up.
I know what you're talking about.
You know it's a
we
good-
used to pass this movie around as a joke on our friend's birthday. We made this big puzzle box. Like you had to figure out how to open it. But if you just opened it like a normal box, we would just fill it full of shredded paper. So you would just be searching and pull all of the shredded paper out for nothing. And there was a secret compartment where that movie was hidden. So if you kept playing with it, you'd eventually find one of the worst movies ever made, just for you.
One of my friends one time for Christmas bought me and all of his friends the copy of the movie Geely, starring Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, which is considered one of the worst films ever.
I don't think I've ever even heard of
Yeah,
it.
you don't want to. Like,
Yeah, right.
You know
but-
I love bad movies.
this one is not even Neil Breen quality. It's just poorly written.
Okay,
Like,
fine.
But anyways, you were saying.
Oh, was I saying something?
You're talking
I
about
think
Dragon
you were
Ball
saying
Evolution.
We're
something.
talking about Dragon Ball
Oh yeah,
Evolution,
yeah,
and I interrupted you.
yeah. And he's out there. He goes to this house party, and he's standing by the main bully's Corvette, and everybody starts like throwing punches at him. He's dodging, and they're beating up their own car, and it's just like what you're saying, like nerds. That is every nerd's wet
yeah,
dream.
it's like every nerd's fantasy is
Like-
like one day he's gonna like be in this situation where somehow he has a katana or something like that, like or his nunchucks or his like bow staff that he's like practiced in his room hours and hours on end beating people up in his mind, and then someone's gonna pick a fight with him and he's just gonna kick dicks in, and then that guy's girlfriend is gonna be like, oh my god, that's so hot, because that's what they all think.
What if?
Also, did you see that incels got thrown off of Reddit again?
Oh, of course.
What's incels?
They're the involuntary celibate people. It's like the whole. Did you hear about? Like, it was last week or something, I think, where like we didn't cover it on Waking the Kraken News, but it was about that Canadian boy, or maybe it was earlier this week. But it was about that Canadian boy who like shot up a shit ton of people and stuff, and he was like claiming that he was an incel, and that he was like honoring another incel that shot some people and stuff. It was a bombing, I think. It was a van bombing.
Damn.
But it's like these like it's this collective of people on the internet that think that because women won't have sex with them, that's why everyone needs to be destroyed. Like me and you and Alex, who are people that have girlfriends, are considered chads, and thus making us idiots.
Yeah.
Because some girl likes us.
Oh, That's just like the broiest name they could come up with.
Yeah,
like,
it's
every girl wants a Chad.
Yeah, they're like, oh, a bunch of Chads out there, all girls are sluts. Yeah, that's what they talk like on these forums. Like,
And then they go kill people?
sometimes.
Apparently.
This
Sometimes-
is very strange.
You just go look up things on X. I think I've talked about it twice on the show now.
Yeah, no, we have, yeah.
Like this is the third time I think.
well then
like,
I can do my own research. We can move on from that.
this is just like the
interesting.
worst people, and I hate them. Like,
I forgot what I was going to say.
You know what the that every member of this group probably does?
What?
Watches anime.
I was gonna say cry.
Is anime ruining our kids?
Absolutely.
I mean, it makes me want a motorcycle like an Akira. Like,
I feel like talking about anime is a weird thing because I hate almost all of it, but I can't justify to like the person I'm dating right now. It's like I like Dragon Ball Z, but I don't think of it as an anime because I watched it as a kid and I always just thought it was a cartoon.
I don't know. I watch anime. Like, I mean, obviously, like, what is it? Like, me and Chloe like watching Miyazaki films or
Yeah, but that's
Akira.
almost like an art piece.
Yeah, but there's still anime. That's the thing. Is
So
like,
are you saying anime is an art?
Oh, Zitch, burn.
No,
Burn, my dude, burn. Yes, just say yes.
Yes.
That's okay.
And just the fact it's like I think I think here's the thing is like most anime I will say though, like I watch some with Chloe, but most of it's just kind of stupid.
There is an alarming amount.
Although I have
of
been watching
anime
a
that just
lot
gets
of
pumped
One
out.
Piece recently.
Yeah.
Well, that's an amazing show. That's
Like-
different.
Okay, yeah, it's the ones that are like infantilism, where like, oh, I'm just a 14-year-old boy in a high school filled with sexy monsters, and I want to get at all of them. Oh, but will it be the vampire or the werewolf girl this week? And it's just like everybody's like, it's just children, disgusting child animated porn to me most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What's the most anime idea that you can come up with?
The most anime idea I could come up with.
Like,
A superhero.
I think I just said it.
a superhero that kills everybody with one punch. It's
That
the
is-
most ridiculous thing in the world. I can't handle it.
that show is hilarious.
That show is actually very funny.
I can't handle it.
Have you
It's
watched
too
it in
much.
English?
Oh yeah, no.
That's
I
where
love
you need
that
to watch
show.
it. It's like
I love that show.
Yeah.
It's just that is such a ridiculous concept.
Yeah, no, I really feel like the anime, what I said, you know, like
Right.
little boy goes to high school and they're all wacky somethings. They're spirits or who knows.
I like to think, yeah, it's like there's always like a boy or like a girl, but they're never like, oh, it's like they're like 15 or something like that. It's like 15-year-old boy whose best friend happens to be a humanoid sentient cat, and he has to go on a trip. And guess what? He finds friendship, and then there's all these innuendos constantly around, and somehow people give them food for free, and they don't have to work ever, and they just beat up on people or like have weird situations where they're like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, well, you know, I'm an old person and I need someone to work in my garden for a day. And then they wind up fucking up the garden. But then the old lady's like, that's okay. You're 16. It happens sometimes. And then they're just like, thanks, lady. And then they walk away.
I prefer 80s animes where it's like,
Robots.
yeah, robots are cool, but or it's like, you know, young boy gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and then he kills every demon in the world. Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball
yeah,
Z,
dude, yeah.
and then it's like
Spirit Gun, man.
Yeah.
Kookabaru. Kookabaru.
Yumeshi!
I love that show. I absolutely.
That's probably my favorite
anime.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever seen Cowboy Bebop?
Oh, Cowboy Bebop's
I
incredible.
was going to say, Cowboy Bebop.
That one's
really
pretty.
good.
That's pretty ridiculous. Like that's like if you've
Everybody loves Cowboy Bebop.
right. So if you've never watched an anime, watch Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, but then they go and watch Little Boy at Monster High, and they're like, oh, this is weird.
Well, like whenever you watch something and you go, this feels like it's for kids. It's for kids. Quit watching it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, well, you've got like Akira, Evangelion, like stuff like that.
Oh,
That's always
Evangelion's
really,
awesome.
as long as it's like a lot of times, like I agree, I really like anime if it's sci-fi anime,
Okay,
but once it like gets out of that realm, I'm not necessarily as into it.
so like me saying like Little Boy and Monster High,
Yeah.
it's not made for kids because he is trying to fuck every single female character in the show.
Would you say it's a teen drama then?
Yeah, but it's still gross.
I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I think that's all we can use of that song.
I think, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's all right. I think it'll work.
Covered by Wes Potts by his album this next week.
Next week. It's dropping.
I'll see you at jury duty.
Well, what else is there? What else?
I think I'm still in this anime idea. It's
I know,
hilarious
I
to
can't
me.
get it out of my
But
Thinking
like,
about it too. It's like I got Japanese animation on the brain.
I've really enjoyed. I mean, I just like animation. I think that's my other problem though. Is it's not necessarily a problem with anime. It's more of just I really like cartoons. Like because me and Alex had a really big tangent of us watching like Franco-Hibernian production cartoons and stuff for a while, like Secrets of Kells and Song of the Sea. Have you seen their new one they have for Netflix?
What is that?
The Breadwinner.
Huh.
It's the same people who made Secrets of Kells and stuff.
Oh, that's
but,
right. Okay.
They
I remember hearing about it.
yeah, it takes place in Afghanistan.
Okay.
And like during like the reign of the Taliban. I haven't watched it yet. It looks sad, but it's that kind of sadness where it's like sad, but they somehow still make it happy at the end or something. It seems like. But I really want to watch that. That one seems really cool. I also haven't seen Infinity Wars. Have any of you seen Infinity Wars?
I have not yet. I really didn't want to go through the crowd of nerds on the first weekend.
I mean, I haven't even seen the second Avengers movie.
Oh yeah.
You can skip that one.
Yeah.
Civil War?
What? How many movies are there now? Like 24 Marvel movies?
I don't know.
I think there's like about 24 now, maybe 19 or 20. I don't know.
Terrifyingly.
There's a large number. There's a large
number.
number of Marvel movies,
Yeah.
and I don't think I've seen half of them.
I don't either. I just ask Chloe questions while we're watching like them. I'll just be like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Did you not see this thing?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then she gets mildly frustrated, I think, but she doesn't say anything to me.
Yeah.
Like,
The universe is expanding so quickly, and it's so different from like what I was already familiar with that I'm like even having a hard time following what's going on myself.
like I've never seen Ant-Man, so I just asked all the questions about
Ant-Man
Ant-Man.
is the worst Marvel movie. I'm pretty sure.
I think Ant-Man is arguably one of the better Marvel movies.
Really?
Yeah.
And I don't have an
Like,
opinion because
seriously.
I haven't seen it.
Watch it and then watch another Marvel movie, and you'll be like, okay, that was way better. Like, cause
I really liked Black Panther.
Black Panther was pretty fucking awesome.
I'm still waiting for it to come out on DVD.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to go watch it. I just feel like I'm burnt out.
Well, the last one that we watched was Thor Ragnarok. Like,
Yeah.
I was there while you were watching it with Colin.
I waited for it to come out.
And that one I hated. I did not like Thor Ragnarok at all. I think I even mentioned that after the movie and stuff like that. That like me and Chloe went and saw it, and me and her didn't like it. And then we were like, I hope that Black Panther is really good because I'm gonna start to lose hope in this. And then we saw Black Panther, like, that was awesome. It was everything that I wanted in a superhero movie. No other superhero showed up in the superhero movie. It was just about Black Panther. Like, that's what I wanted when I saw a movie where the title is the name of the superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, honestly, to me now, like what I would think is the Marvel movies that you should be the most excited about are the superheroes that you're not familiar with.
Yeah.
Because you have no preconceived biases about how they should be or act or the way they could have been incorporated.
That's why I think the first Guardians of the Galaxy is the best Marvel movie.
I think that, yeah, I agree. I think that was, well, in context of like timing and what was going on.
Yeah.
That movie felt great because it was new.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I want to see how that holds up in the future because they're going to start releasing a lot more Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, that movie might become the new trope that we get bored of later. And then we'll be like Guardians of the Galaxies when they started doing only funny shit and they stopped being dramatic.
Well, that's the thing. The second Guardians of the Galaxy is so great because they did what sequels are supposed to do, where the whole sequel was about character development.
Right.
Every single character in that movie got a little bit further with an arc of their own.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't just the standard like superhero movie formula where it's like, all right, you guys are fighting a CGI monster, and then you guys are going to meet somebody new who you think is nice, and then you'll fight them, fight scene, and then it's over.
Yeah.
You know?
I really like the idea that we came up this week of pitching graphic novels that are superheroes fighting serial killers.
Oh, dude.
Like this was something that me and Ben were just like on a discussion of this week that I really enjoyed. I think my favorite one that we came up with was the Flash has to go back in time to stop the Kennedy assassination, but while he's in the wormhole because he's running so fast back in time, from the alternate reality, Superman Red Sun comes and tries to stop him.
Yeah.
And I think it's genius. I think it's a wonderful idea.
That's hilarious.
Although I also like the one with the DC snipers, where they were actually Wakandans, and then Black Panther has to go stop them.
That's pretty cool.
I still like John Wayne Gacy versus the Hulk.
I thought it was Ted Bundy versus the Hulk, because he's like, I can't wait to eat you.
Yeah, it was Ted Bundy.
These were all.
It was Batman versus John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, Batman versus
he's like the
Joker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like the new Joker.
So yeah, no, these are the ones that we came up with this week. But my favorite one was by far the Flash.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know anything about the Flash, but I know that he can travel really fast, and I think we can make it to where he can travel back in time. And I really love Superman Red Sun, and I want to see those two clash.
I would love to see
Wonder Woman versus who's that trucker woman?
Oh, what's her name? That was in fuck, I don't remember. She was the one that the movie Monster was about.
Yeah.
I can't think of her.
Yeah, I'll post
Ugly
it.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Ugly Charlize Theron.
Not pretty Charlize Theron, like
the ugly one
from Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
Except when she's like beat to shit in Atomic Blonde, then she's not so pretty.
Or how about Doctor Strange versus Jane Copen? Because she was like a nurse that would like suffocate people.
Okay.
Yeah, she's actually like the most prolific female serial killer.
I like Doctor Strange
I hate that
versus
word.
Jim Jones.
For a murder.
Because like think about this like cult that's down there that's like People's Temple, and then he's like, look what I can do, and they're like, well, why do we need to follow Jim? Look at that guy. And then he saves an entire community in South Africa.
Spider-Man versus Zodiac Killer.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
Or what about like?
I think it would be interesting, actually, like with the Zodiac Killer. I think it'd be really interesting to have Batman versus the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah,
because Batman's supposed to be one of the world's greatest detectives, and so who else to break the Enigma code and stuff like that than Batman? And he has to like go back in time to stop the Zodiac.
Batman
Killer.
hasn't done detective work in like 30 years.
I mean, he's the greatest detective because he has robots and money and time.
I guess.
And no jurisdiction.
He killed like 20 people in that last movie. Batman v Superman.
I never saw that one.
It's not DC. I don't like DC very much, so that's a whole other tangent I could go on. But
I'm interested to see. They've left themselves wide open to do some really interesting stuff later on. But I feel like right now they're like trudging through this like boring framework. And because like they can't do it the way Marvel's doing it, they can't just be releasing like, we're gonna make this the biggest one we've done yet, and then the next one's gonna be bigger, and the next one's gonna be bigger. They're just like, well, there's pretty good.
Marvel had a sturdier framework, though.
Right.
Like they put out, was it 4 or 5 movies before they even did the Avengers?
Well, I mean, they've put out more movies than that. I mean,
no, before they did the first Avengers movie.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it's
they had like 2 Iron Man, and they released like
Thor. They did.
They released 2 Iron Man. They released Captain America, and then they didn't. They released a Thor so they could release Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Marvel had also had the framework of standing on. One franchise was already putting out, because the first time the like Marvel comic book flip was used was the first Blade movie. So all the Blade movies were some of the first Marvel movies, and then you get like Daredevil, and then you start getting some more, as you start moving forward and getting closer, you get all the X-Men movies, and those are all Marvel movies. And so they've already established a cinematic universe going into, we can blow this up now. Where DC has a bunch of Batman movies owned by different people, made by different people.
Yeah.
And they have a couple a bunch of Superman movies. Some of them are great. Some of them you can do without.
Yeah.
And so they're just like kind of already starting with not a whole lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. that was a lot.
This is.
So I'm interested to see where they go.
I mean they could do a lot of cool stuff. It's just they can't do dark and funny.
No, they gotta stop that.
They gotta just pick something.
One or the other. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the Joker in The Dark Knight was pretty funny, with his horrible dark sense of humor.
But he's not part of the DC universe.
No, I know he's not
anymore.
part. He's not part of that DC universe. Yeah, because
I know.
it's a separate trilogy. But if they would keep doing things like that, I think it would be really great.
It's like Suicide Squad. That was like an atrocity.
I hated Suicide Squad.
It's because like they were like, this is gonna be dark as hell, and they were like, that's too dark. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Look at what they just did. People love that.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, redo an old classic rock song, and then we'll throw in a couple jokes.
Yeah.
And it
pretty
just
much.
none of it landed because it was like, what are you doing? It's not funny, and
No,
it's
you could definitely feel that, like where all the actors felt like. I mean, because to me it just felt like they were all like, yeah, we're gonna do this really cool movie. It's gonna be different than all the other superhero movies. And then at the last minute, they're like, no, it's got to be different. And they're like, well, what the fuck ever, we're here.
I honestly think Guardians of the Galaxy ruined it for that.
Yeah.
Ruined Suicide Squad.
It must have. Because, I mean, that movie is a victim of editing big time.
Yeah.
The visuals in that movie were fantastic. I mean, they made it look really pretty most of the time. And I thought a lot of the acting performances were pretty solid.
They won an Academy Award for makeup,
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, and it's crazy that movie just was that bad. It just wasn't like just so disjointed and
It was-
disconnected, and none of the characters were really developed. They're just there the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said about that, though. I mean, you shouldn't cast Will Smith as a superhero. Hancock was a flop. The Suicide Squad wasn't very good.
Yeah.
He's really good at playing the good guy, like in Wild Wild West and stuff, but he's very, very bad at just playing a super person.
Yeah. Playing a villain just isn't. Because his idea of playing a villain is just being a little bit quieter.
Yeah, or like him from Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Pretty much. Did you watch the movie Bright?
I did watch Bright.
What'd you think of that?
I honestly thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I just kind of thought.
I thought it was the worst Lord of the Rings movie I've ever seen. Like,
It was definitely fun. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it has the best writing in the world.
No. It was probably the best popcorn movie Netflix has put out yet.
Yeah, for sure.
You can just sit down and watch it, and you don't have to be super invested to have a fun time.
Yeah,
And it was done well, but it also feels like it was thrown together.
definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, they're gonna put out a sequel.
Yeah.
here
they
soon.
already have, yeah. They already have it like in in production right now. They're doing it.
I did think that was a good return.
I want to
for
know
Will
where the
Smith,
dwarves are. That's one thing. They got the elves, they got the humans, they got those orcs.
though. The dwarves.
Where's
are
my
under-
Gimlis at?
They're underground.
Where my Gimlis at?
in the mines.
Like,
Your Gimlis are all dwarves.
where my
Gimlis.
elves at? Where my elves at? Where my Gimlis at? Where my Gimlis at?
Yeah, they did kind of leave that out.
Yeah, I mean they've got like
Whatever.
little-
Maybe
they've got
dwarves don't
tooth
exist.
fairies flying around, but I don't have any dwarves.
Dwarves are a little bit ridiculous
like
if you think about it.
Yeah, they actually exist and stuff.
I hope in Bright 2 it's like, what is his name? The guy who plays Tyrion Lannister and stuff like that is like head dwarf, and he's like a jeweler or something like that. That would be awesome. Like if they were all just kind of like Hasidic Jews, but they were just dwarves and like they were jewelers and stuff, and like that's a beautiful idea. That's a way to like build that. It's awesome.
Well, you better.
Because they love, like, that's in their like in dwarves, like, little ideas. Like, they love jewelry and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they love shiny things.
And then it attracts dragons who eventually eat the dwarves and the
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's the perfect life cycle of life.
Yeah.
Cycle of life.
And obviously, we didn't see a whole bunch of them in this last movie, so we need to have some little niche, like, corner, like, market that they are.
Now
kind
that I
of
say
thing.
it, I bet there's a dragon in Bright too.
No, I don't think there is. I don't think the dragon ever shows up in Bright.
No, in the new one,
Oh, yeah.
somebody's got to have a dragon show
It's
up.
gonna happen.
I bet he runs, like, big tobacco.
And then what's going to happen is he's getting ready to fight somebody, and then a dragon lands on him, and Will Smith is pointing his gun and goes, "Oh hell no!" And then
Yeah.
and then that's the end of the trailer.
I want the dragons in that world to, like, run big tobacco and stuff like that. Like, they just, like, always have cigarettes in mouth and, like...
Need a light.
How big are they?
They're very big.
That's why it's big tobacco.
It's big tobacco.
Yeah. They've got, like, the giant stogies, but they just look like a cigarette, and, like, they just, like, light it by, like, holding it and going, and then, like, smoke it, and, like, they're greedy because they want all the money. That's why they got an addictive substance that they sell to people. It's genius. Man,
Yeah.
we should write Bright, dude. Netflix, if you're listening to this out there, or if someone out there is making you
Yeah,
listen to this,
we better hit them up quick.
we better get on Bright, too. I've got some genius ideas on dwarves and
Yeah, man.
dragons.
And if there's a dragon in there, Ben is suing your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my idea.
He came up with
any
it.
line that Will Smith says that involves hell no, I also own.
I think he has that copywritten.
Really?
Oh hell no.
Well, I'll see him in court. Bum, 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 bum.
Who's this guy think he is? Will Smith.
And now we've gone full circle back to court. Like,
Man, I really don't want to have jury duty.
me neither. I've never wanted jury duty. It sounds awful.
I'm pumped. I'm real
Ben's excited. Someone else was really just as excited as you because they wanted to do it too.
Look, I'm going to find my way onto that jury. And if it's exciting, have me back on and I'll talk about it.
All right, and on that note, thanks for joining us on Waking the Kraken. I'm Wes Potts.
I'm Alex Kahneman.
And Ben Frisch, everybody. Ben, you want to take a moment to tell us what you've been up to? Anything new you want to pitch?
Still just trying to get that podcast, the Star Wars RPG podcast going. It's been a slog, but hopefully soon.
Man, right in the pods.
Right in the
Right in the
pods. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye.